What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Horseshoe. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be discussing if Eric Fisher would be a good fit for this team. Now, why am I talking about Eric Fisher? Why am I bringing him up? Well, this is why. According to The Athletic, they believe that Eric Fisher and the Colts would be a great fit. And, obviously we got to look at the stats. We got to see if Eric Fisher really would be something the Colts should at least consider. So if we pull it up right now, this is the 2020 season. He played 1,049 snaps. He played pretty much every game. That past season, he had 3 penalties on him, which not too bad. I'll forgive that. And he only allowed 3 sacks, which I think is pretty good. He is going to be 30, or I believe he is 30. So that is something we need to keep in mind. But he was in the Pro Bowl this season. I mean, there wasn't technically a Pro Bowl, but let's look at some other ones. 2019, he only allowed a sack, had 2 penalties on him. Didn't play a whole lot, though. That's the thing. I do think he was hurt that season. But 2018, again, allowed 4 sacks, had 7 penalties. Not pretty, but he was a Pro Bowler that year. So if we're looking at that 2018-2020 season, I think on a line like ours, I think he would really fit in. I think it'd actually be a pretty good fit. But he is 30. So that is something we have to keep in mind. Do we want to go through what we went through with Anthony Costanzo, where he's a little older and it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a wound instead of fixing the wound via surgery or whatever, because a lot of people are going to say, why don't we just draft the future left tackle and, our line is good enough where they could take him in and help him out a lot. Why don't we do that? Well, this is how I see it. Yes, Eric Fisher is 30. Yes, we probably wouldn't have him a whole lot. However, when it comes to somebody like Eric Fisher, who is coming off of a Pro Bowl season, you gotta take an opportunity to sit down and be like, hey, this might be the guy that we need to get on our team. Plus, I believe he was on the roster when Chris Ballard was in Kansas City, so there would be some connection there. And Chris Ballard does, from time to time, bring in guys that he had on a team previously, like Kansas City. We saw that with Justin Houston. So maybe there's something there because of that. I don't know. But let me get into kind of the positives, then I'll get into the negatives, and then I'll give if my thoughts on if I actually want him on the team, and then I'll go into do I think the Colts will actually go after him. So for me, the positives are obviously he's coming off of a Pro Bowl season. That's obviously a good thing. Only allowed 3 sacks on on an offensive line like ours. That could go down, and that could be good. Experience. He's proven, he's talented, and like I always say, proven is better than potential. Truth is, we don't know what these rookie offensive linemen are going to be. We don't know how good these guys are going to be coming out of college and going to the NFL. We just simply don't know. So, we know what we get with Eric Fisher. We don't know what we get with a Sam Cosmi. We don't know what we get with a Penei Sewell, even. We don't know what we would get with a Darisaw, a Slater. Now, granted, these guys are going to end up being good offensive linemen. I don't think we're, debating on whether they're going to be good or bad, but still, they're potentially going to be great. But do they end up reaching that potential? That is something that we won't know until they're on the field. We've seen players who we thought were going to be amazing and great end up being bust. But then we see guys we don't think is going to be great end up being great. I mean, look at Darius Leonard, for example. He was graded an F. The Colts were given an F for drafting Darius Leonard. And look what he's doing now. You just never know. That's the beautiful thing about the draft. But Chris Ballard has proven he is great when it comes to the draft. So there's that. Like I said, there's some experience already with Chris Ballard. The negatives, really, what I see is he is coming off of an injury. because he did get hurt, I believe, in the Buffalo game in the AFC Championship. So not great. He is 30 now, so he's getting a little older. There's a chance that we would only have him a few years, and this would be the band-aid on the wound rather than going to surgery and fixing it that way. Other than that, I don't see a whole lot of negatives. I really don't. So now do I want him, and why do I want him, or why do I not want him? For me, I would take him. I would take a shot because I was initially thinking, no, I don't really think we need him. Let's just go young. Let's get somebody in a draft and go from there. But then I kind of sat down and I thought about it. And to be honest, like I said, we don't know how good some of these guys coming out of college are going to be. They could end up being bust. We just don't know. I doubt some of the guys that are going to be available in the first round will be bust as far as offensive linemen go. But you still never know. Having somebody like an Eric Fisher would be good because I truly believe having him there, he could kind of give the next man up a little bit of time to kind of get used to the NFL. That way, when Eric Fisher is done, we can take our rookie, which would be a second year, third year, however long it takes for Eric Fisher to be on the team. We take that guy that we draft this year, we put him in there, he's good to go, and it's like a plug and go. So I think there's a good thing with that. I think drafting a guy like a Liam Eichenberg, who is probably going to need a little bit of time to, develop. I believe he's probably going to need a season to kind of get used to the NFL, and then he should be good to go. So what I would honestly do, I would sign Eric Fisher. Then I would use that first round pick on a defensive, player like an edge or a corner if you really feel like corner is of need. And then the second round, you go after offensive tackle. That's what I would do. Whether you draft, is it Lattimore or Leatherwood? Is that his name from Alabama? Maybe he ends up getting drafted in the second round. Liam Eichenberg, somebody like that. We don't know. So that's what I would do personally. Now, do I think the Colts want him? I think they do. Especially coming off of a Pro Bowl season. The fact that he's still available, it kind of scares me, but at the same time, why not? You could probably get him for a good price. You're not going to pay a whole lot of money. You can sign him a 2-year deal, 3-year deal for pretty cheap, and then go from there. You're not going to be paying like a max contract or anything. So that's good. So I think the Colts, I think they want him. I think they see the talent there. But the question is, will they make the move? You see, if there's one thing we've learned this offseason, it's don't really expect a lot of big moves from Ballard. Don't expect him to sign a whole lot of people that will make a big difference right now, that at least that we can tell. This would not be a guy you would normally expect him to get. However, with Fisher still being there, with nobody taking a swing at him and signing him, especially those teams that need an offensive tackle, I would say yes. If I am going to, put a bet down, I'm going to bet that the Indianapolis Colts are going to sign Eric Fisher. I truly believe it's going to happen. I think they want him to be there, and I think they will get him. I think Eric Fisher, when looking at his options and, he's looking at some of his offers and whatnot, looking at the Colts, I think that's the best team that you can go to. Because just imagine, you get to play next to Quentin Nelson. You get to play with Ryan Kelly. You get to play with Galinsky. You get to play with Braden Smith. Are you kidding me? I think any offensive tackle would love to play on that line. I think they would. So if you take Eric Fisher, this offensive line would be as good or better than it was last year and maybe in the past. This would be a really good offensive line, maybe the best in the league if you sign Eric Fisher. Now, if you draft a rookie, we don't know. If you get Penei Sewell, I'm pretty sure Penei Sewell is going to be, as good as advertised. I'm pretty sure. No way Colts get him. unless they trade up. Not going to happen. But that would be a huge piece to get. Um, but really, I think Eric Fisher is the guy to get because when we look at other rookies, like a Slater, I'll even throw him in there, like a Darisaw, Sam Cosme, yada yada yada. We don't know. We just don't know. Could be great. Could make our offensive line legit the best in the league, but it could also fail. That's why I think bringing in Eric Fisher will help a lot. And I think the Colts are going to, I think they're thinking right now, because obviously that's a very important position. If you can get somebody like Eric Fisher to protect Carson Wentz, I think you're good to go. Does Carson Wentz get touched? Probably not. Um, if he does, it's gonna be very little. But I think Eric Fisher is a match made in heaven. I think it's a perfect fit. I don't think it's going to cost a whole lot for the Colts. If I'm Indy, I'm going for Eric Fisher. So there we go. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new, subscribe. I bet most of you that check this out are going to be new anyway. Please subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know. Do you want Eric Fisher? Do you think it'd be a good fit? Let me know down below. Like this video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. All that good stuff. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Matt, and I will see you next time.